Now, I'm really proud of these guys for coming back after that Thursday night performance. Um, you know, our defense was pretty good tonight. In every phase of the game, with the exception maybe of 3-point shooting and rebounding, we gave up too many offensive rebounds, but I thought overall our defense was good on Sean Long, and the emphasis was to make them beat us from outside. Don't let Sean Long beat us. Don't let them drive to the bucket too much. We know they really are good drivers. They're good ball handler, good driver. They got a bunch of good drivers on their team, and so the emphasis was make them beat us from the outside, and don't let them just lay it off the glass. They still did that on several occasions, but they're very good at that, and I think we limited them in those in their attempts. Anyway, I thought O.J. Black, played a very good game. 37 minutes is a lot of minutes, and even we had both our guards have 37 minutes. Imani had 33, and we got good rebounding from Imani and Cam. And we need to get some more from Caven in there, and Anthony and Bobby Conley gave us some good minutes also. So anyway, really pleased with the win. Happy for the players and my staff and I. And it's nice to have a Sunday where you feel good about yourself. So, and that was last weekend. We beat App State, but this one is even more satisfying because Lafayette's a very good basketball team. That's a good basketball team. They got shooters. They got a very good point guard. They got a very good big man. Key player Bryce Washington, I think for them is a very key. 13 and 13. That's a double-double. That's a heck of a game. Someone we tried to recruit too, but we couldn't get him out of Louisiana. So, any questions?
O.J. Black, you've said before you want him to take a few more shots. He was 5 for 9.
Yes.
Shooting pretty well. Is that what you want to see out of him?
Well, yeah, but he only took 1 3, but he took it to the hole. I think he made two layups. I think another time he drove and got fouled at a key time. I want to say he made 1 out of 2 on that one. And I thought OJ did a good job. I thought he did a good job on defense and offense. He got popped in the face pretty good there at the end. Got hit in the mouth, and so he really did a good job, and both offensively and defensively. And if we get that from him more often, I think we could win some more, a lot more games. When you get 14, it's always been, Imani, Ethan, and Caven or Cam. That it's nice to get OJ with 14, somebody else. Anyway, it was a great game on his part.
Coach, when you get up that lead like you do, it could have either gone one way or the other. It could have been a really tough loss or a really kind of a program-changing win for you guys.
Yeah.
Did you feel like this can be something to get you guys going?
Oh yeah, with about 2.5 minutes, you say a little quick prayer and say, "We need this, Lord. Let it help us get it." I was raised in a way that that I always used to tell my mom, I said, "Good Lord has other things to worry about rather than helping us win a game. You got people with cancer, you got war going on, and everything." But that's the way you raise. You ask the good Lord for help, and with 2 minutes to go, it wasn't so just so we could win the game. It was just that this win could really help our team's mental outlook, our attitude. So.
And this was the only team that you'd beaten every team in the league until
and no one has beaten us badly more. We have 3 bad losses at Lafayette. Now every game here has been close, but at Lafayette we haven't come close. Now we did in the tournament. This is our 7th game playing, and I'm 1-6 against them. I'm really 1-5 against Georgia State. So but this team has beaten us soundly at their place, and we let one get away my first year. Last year we let it get away, but not to the degree that first year. So it was so good when OJ's shot went in to make it, I want to say, a 4 or 5 point ball game. That was just a big relief for me to realize we're going to have that kind of padding with I want to say 20 seconds to go or something like that.
That shot that OJ took towards the end of the second half, where the clock's kind of winding down. It seemed like he drew the ball for a while, let the clock roll, and then took a shot. Was that a play you drew up?
No. They got into this. They were trapping us. So when people trap you, you can't run a play. The players got to improvise, and he did. He made a decision. We were going to run the clock out as much as we can and try to go at the end. And I was telling all of them, look to drive. Sean Long wasn't in the game, so all their shot blockers, they don't have a shot blocker without Sean Long. They're like every other team in the league. So I think we have more shot blockers once Long is out of the game. We have better shot blockers than they do. So, we wanted him to drive to the game, but he pulled up, and I want to say he had a 15-footer, and it was a big shot. Now, don't give me credit on that one. So.
Coach, talk about your being able to coach against Coach Marlin. You guys have coached against each other back from the Southland days.
Yeah.
Just kind of talk about that.
Well, he's a very good basketball coach, and yes, I without the risk of bragging, it was Sam and us, the two big kids on the block for the better part of the last. Of course, he left in 2010, and I didn't leave Stephen F. to 2013. But my first 2 years there, we were rebuilding, and it took year 3 for us to get it going. And from year 2002, 2003 season to the 2010, we were in the finals. I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in 8 years, Southland Conference Finals, and they were in the finals, 3 or 4 years themselves. So us two in Northwestern, we're getting a lot of. We were advancing, more than the other 8 or 9 schools, however many there were. So there was a built-in rivalry, and Sam and Stephen F. has had a rivalry since 1950s, 40s, whenever they built, So it's so heated. It's very heated rivalry there, and some of that carries over. But things have settled down a little bit.
Do you think it's carried over between these two teams, Texas State?
No, I don't. I think that. I don't think they're I think their rivalry is more Monroe, whereas ours is. I don't know. Maybe ours is UTA. I don't know. Until we get to the point where we are a perennial top 2 or 3 team, and they are there too, which they're getting close. If they're not there, they're getting close. That's when the rivalries, I think, really start. And we've got some work to do before we can talk like we're one of the top teams and programs in the league. We hope we get there soon.
What has led to? I know the first game this year you weren't successful against Sean Long, but 3 of the last 4 games you've gotten him in foul trouble. You had him in 4 fouls. The 2 of the games last year, and you fouled him out. He fouled out today.
It's amazing. You guys ought to try coaching, but I just thought we were. I wouldn't know, whether it be on the road like at Lafayette or whether it be just 2 nights ago. Our guys are ready to play today. I felt it in the locker room. You get a sense of that if you're in enough locker rooms. If you coach or play on enough teams, when your team's more ready than not. And I didn't feel like they weren't ready. I did feel that way against UT Arlington. I didn't feel that way so much against Monroe. And I certainly didn't feel that today. I felt like they were ready. And but we talked about it, Joe. When we jump out on leads, it just kind of gets us going. And we got to be able to finish games even when we start in a hole. And tonight, I want to say, I can't remember what was our, I want to say the score was like 19-7 or something like that. So. But Imani got 2 fouls on Sean Long, and that was big. I think 2 charges. That was huge. So anytime we can get a lot of charges, 4 or 5 charges, it looks like we're right there in the game. And I think that goes. We're getting those charges because we're sharp and we're ready to play. So I think that's all relative to mental alertness and mental toughness and ready to go. Certainly, you have to be a tough kid to take a charge, especially against Sean Long.
You were talking about them trapping a little bit with the Montalvo.
They do that at the end of the game whenever they're behind. Most teams do that. So
Sure. And then throughout the game also, they seemed like they were doubling Montalvo, and then he went 1 for 10 from 3. Do you think that had a lot to do
now I think Montalvo just, if you ask Montalvo, he missed some shots he said I should have made. I do believe that. Ethan's been inconsistent in that respect. He's had some great games and he's had some not so great games. I mean, we ran a few plays for him there at the end. He's open. He just didn't make them. I don't think anybody was. One time he shot the ball. I think they fouled him after he released it, and that they let it go there at the end. But
There were a couple of them.
he hit a big one at the end. I don't know if it was a 3 or 2 at the very end, but he hit a big one there that really helped us.
I think that was a 2.
Yeah, I think so too. But we're 3 for 14, but Montalvo's 1 for 10, so that's not saying much about the rest of our guys.
Yeah.
So, the only thing that bothers me about this stat score is 19 offensive rebounds.
Coach, what was your defensive strategy coming into this game?
Don't let Sean Long lay it off the glass. Don't try not to let him get too many layups off the glass, whether it be their guards penetrating, whether it be Sean Long catching and laying it up, or any of their guys. They're on the road. Make them hit from the outside.
Would you be proud of you guys and say they did a good job today?
Oh yeah,
Sean
without a
Long
doubt.
having 7 points.
Without a doubt, they did a great job. Very good job.